Hello, everyone. Good evening. Oh, flying low. Hey, y'all. Hello. Hey, if you can hear me, please drop a thumbs up or something in the comments. I'm gonna let some of you guys get in. Gotta get that H2O down. Y'all look at my shirt. Proud parent of a 2025 senior. Oh, I can't believe it. It just seems like yesterday when I was graduating high school. So, anyway. I'm gonna let some of y'all get in.
I'm Jess.
Oh, sorry. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get in. Go ahead and start. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you aren't able to tune in right now, I'm sure you'll catch it later. I wanted to talk a little bit about moms. I've been seeing a lot on my timeline, mothers who are struggling. It's just so much happening right now. As we all know, there's so much happening right now. And I just really want to encourage mothers, especially single mothers, but all mothers, but especially single mothers. Um, so I love to share my story when I feel led to. And so I'm going to share parts of me that some of you may know, some of you may not know. First off, I am a mother of 3 children. I don't know why sometimes people think I only have 2, but I actually have 3 children. I'm wearing my shirt right now. I'm a proud mother, proud parent of a 2025 senior. So I have an 18-year-old. He just turned 18. I cannot believe that I am the mother of now an adult. That just doesn't make sense to me. But I have an 18-year-old that's getting ready to graduate high school. I also have a 15-year-old son as well. So 2 boys, and then I have a baby girl who is 12. So what's funny is they're born January, February, and March in order of their ages. So my oldest is January. Elisha, he'll be turning 16 this weekend. And then Trinity, she'll be turning 13 next month. Well, March. So the month after next. Ain't that crazy? I can't believe the January is already over with, but child is. So anyway, with everything that is happening right now, especially mothers who are single mothers and mothers who may have some, financial hardships and things like that. There are a lot of things that are happening right now that is just scary. Also, if you are a mother and you happen to be an entrepreneur, it's even more difficult. So to kind of let you all know, I found out I was pregnant with my son when I was still a teenager, my oldest. I had just was 19 years old at that time. I had graduated high school and everything, but at that time I was in college. I was, had my little apartment, got my first car. Children was just not on the menu. I always thought that I would have children in my 30s. Never once did I think that I would be pregnant at 19 years old. Of course, I had, let me see. Hold on, let me read that. Working a 9-to-5 job as a single mother of 2 was never easy. Despite dedicating my life to my work, my income barely covered my bills. One day I heard my colleagues discussing online business. Okay. Okay. All right. So I don't know if this is spam or not, but if it's not, that's great. Anyway, sometimes people look at keywords and then they drop stuff in. Not saying that that's what this person is doing, but I don't ever recall them being my friend on Facebook. Anyway, as I was saying, I did not see myself being a mother. Like I did not see that happening anytime soon. And so when I found out that I was pregnant, I actually was shocked. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Y'all, I was going to Planned Parenthood to go give me some more contraceptives and some, preventative measures. And the lady was like, "Well, when was your last cycle?" I was like, "You know what? I can't remember." She was like, "Oh, well, would you like to take a pregnancy test?" I was like, "Okay." Like, I'm like, I don't know why I would need to do that. Like, it was not on my radar. But I found out I was pregnant and I made the decision to keep my son. And I will tell you that that was probably the best decision for me in my entire life. I can't speak for anybody else or anybody's else situation, nor am I here to judge anyone's choices. But I can say for me, definitively, it was the best choice that I could have ever made in my life, keeping my son. So, my pregnancies were particularly very hard. I have hyperemesis gravidarum. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, what that is where you are so sick during your pregnancies. Like my first pregnancy, I lost 80 pounds. When I was pregnant with Elisha and Trinity, I lost 60 pounds. So I was very, very sick. I'm talking about throwing up every day. And during that time, like I said, I was a college student, but I was a working college student. I didn't have, parents that paid for any of my tuition or helped me in any type of way. Everything I had to get on my own. And so I was working 2 full-time jobs as a full-time student. And when I got sick, I had to I lost everything, y'all. I lost everything because I couldn't work. I mean, I was throwing up like 10, 12 times a day. I had to drop out of school. It was a mess. I ended up getting married to my first husband, and I was pregnant and getting married. mind you. To be quite honest with you, I had no business getting married. I'm just gonna be honest. I was 20 years old, pregnant with my son, and jumping into marriage. I was raised in the church. So, being raised in the church, you're taught you are supposed to live a certain type of way before God. You're supposed to do this, da, 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 da. And I really, really love God. So, I was trying my best to do the right thing, I thought. So, I got married. After I got married, um, and we had Zion, I started getting pregnant, right? Probably about a year or so after he was born, a little over a year. And in the midst of that, I had two miscarriages. Yeah, two miscarriages. I miscarried twins and then I miscarried another baby. It was so back to back. Like I miscarried my twins January 29th, miscarried my twins. Then I had another miscarriage April 5th. And then by the beginning of May, I think it was like May 7th, May 8th, I found out I was pregnant with Eli. That's my body did not have a chance to heal. I was just getting pregnant. Um, and again, in church, thinking that's what you're supposed to do, be fruitful and multiply, satisfy your husband, boom, boom, boom. So I get pregnant with Eli. After we have Eli, I got scholarship to school, moved. And then I got pregnant again and had think I had two more miscarriages. Then I got pregnant with Trinity. And so my body was just going through trauma after trauma. Another thing is that every time, well, my first pregnancy, if I knew then what I know now, I could have sued the hospital and the entire practice because they allowed me to carry my baby way over term. And as a result, my placenta ended up rupturing and I had to have emergency C-section. I almost died and my son almost died. And then after that, so I was robbed of the opportunity of a natural birth. I always wanted to have a natural birth. After that, I had Eli, and I was going to try to do what they call VBAC, which is vaginal birth after cesarean, but he was breached. His big head butt didn't want to turn around, so they had to cut me. So naturally, when it was time for Trinity, I had to get cut again. But each time that I had my babies, I always ended up back in the hospital. I never had high blood pressure or anything while I was pregnant, but afterwards, I ended up back in the hospital with life-threatening preeclampsia, toxemia, stroke level. I always ended up with pneumonia, and I think it had to do with the C-sections, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so we fast forward. By this time, I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a newborn all at the same time. And by the time I had Trinity, I am 38 now. She's gonna be 13, about to be 13. So I was 25. Yeah, 25. Wow. 25 with 3 children. And I was married still at that time. It was really tough. It was tough. I remember going to my grandmother, rest her soul. She probably said one of the best things and probably one of the worst things, but at the time it was what I needed to get up. I went and I cried. I said I laid on her lap and I just cried and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And she let me cry on her lap. And I looked up at her and she said, "Are you finished?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Well, baby, depression is for rich white women." She said, "You're gonna have to get on up from here and you're gonna have to keep going." And I got up and I kept going. And anything that I was dealing with, I pushed down. But one thing I'll tell you is that the things you don't deal with, they're gonna deal with you. So if you have things that you need to if you have some mental, some physical, some spiritual things you're dealing with, you better start dealing with those things and working through those things, because if not, it will work you. It will deal with you. Okay. Trust me. So anywho, I not gonna really go too deep into the marriage thing. We're just gonna say it was toxic and abusive, and I had to get out. And that's what I did. And when I got out, everything shifted. When I was with my ex-husband, I didn't have to pay, I didn't have to worry about things financially. He handled the bills for the most part. Now I managed the household, but he brought home the bacon. You know what I mean? And so when I got divorced, a part of the punishment for me getting divorced, a part of the punishment for me leaving him is he pulled everything. Uh everything. Uh everything. And I was left to take care of 3 children by myself and without any help. And at that time, I was a full-time entrepreneur. So by the time that I got my divorce, I was a full-time entrepreneur. That's all I did. I didn't have a 9 to 5. And so being it thrown into that, I can honestly say I wouldn't trade for the world. I don't know what you thought I was going to say. Baby, listen, that peace, I wouldn't trade it for nothing on this planet Earth. What? The peace that surpasses all understanding. But I will tell you, it was definitely difficult. There was some times where I would go into the closet after the kids were asleep and I would just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. Because being a mother, especially being a single mother, is such a thankless job. A lot of times you are already combating people looking down on you, telling you, well, you should have chosen better. Baby, I got married. Okay. I thought I was doing the thing the right way. What do you mean I should have chosen better? You mean I'm supposed to endure things that I shouldn't have to endure and put my children through things just to say that I got somebody I'm with? I think not. And so you deal with the outside and judgments, you know what I mean? You can, I say it all the time to some of, my friends, whether they have children or not. It's funny because you can be smart, beautiful, intelligent, super successful, on your own business, take care of your thing, treat people right, feed the homeless, feed the birds, sing, tweet, do all the beautiful things. And just because you don't have a man, somehow you're not worthy. That is the type of society that we live in. So then when you add children on top of that, and then you add 3 children on top of that, it can be even more of a judgmental situation. I remember when I got my divorce, I used to wear my ring even when I was divorced, just because if people saw me with the children, I've experienced this where you'll be in a store with your kids, especially when they're little, right? And a person will look down at your hand to see if you got a ring on your finger. And if you don't, they kind of roll their eyes. But if you do, it's like they're like, oh, okay. Well, maybe her husband's deployed, or it's like they treat you differently. I'm single mothers know what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I'm talking about. You literally are treated differently for being a single mom. And it it's pretty terrible, you know. Um, you deal with guilt because I don't think anybody, well, these days it's a little different because people do be having kids. They be jogging, they go to the doctor and let the doctor shoot up the club, and then they have their babies. But most people do not. Yep, this is true for me. It was added that my kids were lighter. Yep, yeah. So I have children of all hues. My oldest, he is light bright with green eyes, and then I got me a baby that's similar to my skin tone, and I got me a chocolate drop. I got all the hues. But yeah, you're exactly right. So I would have my ring on just even when I wasn't married because I didn't want the stares. I didn't want the looks. I remember when I went through my separation before I got my divorce, when I finally were divorced, people were genuinely shocked because I didn't make an announcement or anything. There's a lot of shame that went along with being a single mother, and it's a lot of shame that is put on you. But I want to let you know you have nothing to be ashamed of. When it comes to taking care of you, it is your responsibility to take care of your mental health. It's your responsibility to protect your children. It's your responsibility to protect your heart. And sometimes that means walking away from things that no longer serve you. You don't need to feel no way about that. Okay. I want to encourage you that it is okay. Because baby, when I tell you it gets greater later. So like I said, several miscarriages, mother of 3 children. And the navigation part it has been, you know, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It wasn't that hard navigating, but I will tell you why. The reason why it wasn't that as hard as it could have been for me was because I was an entrepreneur and I built my life around my children. So with me being a vocal coach, I could set my times or when I was teaching, when I was doing, and I did that on purpose. As a matter of fact, I started my business prior to my divorce, and I did that because I knew it wasn't gonna work. And I needed to have something to fall back on. So I started saving money. I started getting my stuff together. I started my business. I started doing these things to prepare myself for my exit. And then, like I said, being an entrepreneur, I was able to kind of navigate. But there are some times that things got hard. I think that it really started to get more difficult when my oldest son developed epilepsy, because with the seizures, it would just be out of nowhere. My baby would just, he would have a seizure and I'm about to go to the school. And by that time I was doing real estate and doing all these other things. And it was just a lot. But we've developed a system. One of the biggest things that I can tell you that I would recommend for any mother, especially a single mother, is develop a routine. You've got to have a routine for you and your children, but especially for your children. They need to have things like when people come over my house, they laugh, but I have a chore chart on my refrigerator. Every kiddo in the house knows what their chores are. I have straight A students, all of my kids. My son, my oldest son, who's getting ready to graduate, is going to be graduating with a 4.0 GPA, and that's not even the weighted GPA. So that's not factoring in his college courses, his AP courses. All my other children, they're straight A students. They are fantastic kids. But I'm telling you, it takes work, right? It takes routine. You got to make sure that you schedule time for yourself. And this could be something just as simple as making sure that the kids are in bed early enough so that you can take a long bath. Or you might want to read, or you might want to do some self-care stuff, or you might want to just have a drink of wine, or watch something that the kids can't watch. You know what I mean? But you got to create time, and you got to carve out time for yourself. Planning your meals is a really big one. If you could plan your meals and kind of get those things going, like Sunday is my preferred meal prep day. You can prep things of that nature. And then also, really, I can't stress this enough. Get in touch with your mental health. Like if you need to talk to somebody, if you need to talk to a professional, talk to a professional. There are agencies that are designed, even if you don't have money, that are designed that will help you with parenting classes, that will help you with therapy, that will help you with things for absolutely free. There are. You just got to do your due diligence and look. There are there's support, you know what I mean, out there. There are mother support groups. Even here on Facebook, you can find a lot of different groups and stuff. I used to go into some of the different groups. I've even started a few different Facebook groups through the years. They're not really active now because I be doing too much. But anyway, I started some through the years. And you know, creating that network. You are not alone. Okay. There are days where, and this is another thing too. Some days you just gonna have to say, them kids, hey, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Some days you just gonna have to say, you know what, get somebody else to do it. The laundry is not gonna get done today. The dishes ain't getting done today. I'm not doing nothing today, and that's okay. You just have to be okay with that. Come on. Is it ready? Oh, you mixed it all up? Okay, you could go ahead and get some. Yeah. Close the door. Go ahead, close the door. My daughter coming out here. She's trying to hurry to finish cooking and stuff. But that, Anyway, some days it's okay to be like, I'm not doing it. No, the answer is no. Setting boundaries, you got to set boundaries with your kids. It is not your job to entertain and to feel like that you got to do everything right. Don't allow mom guilt to have you doing stuff that you have no business doing. Um, that was one thing I had to learn, is that I'm not going to allow my mom guilt, for whatever reason to have my kids running me. Baby, please. No, no, no. And your kids is not your friend. I don't care. I don't care. They just not. Um, but I wanted to share this with you all because I do see some of my sisters they're like, yo, I am tired. And okay, mom guilt is a thing. Say, man, let me tell you this. I don't care how great of a parent you are. I don't care if you go to every PTA meeting and you never miss a game and you bake cookies and cupcakes and you do all, there's going to be something that your child is going to be upset with you about. They're going to find something because you're not perfect. You're not. I tell my kids, baby, I'm not perfect, but I promise you, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you down. What? Down. But I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And say sorry when you're wrong. That's another thing. Just say, I'm sorry. Mama sorry. It's okay, because when you do that, that allows your child to feel the validation that they need, because you be wrong sometimes. I know I've been wrong, and I have to go in there and be like, hey, you want to go them shoes? They'll be like, and then I say, you know what, mama sorry, I'm sorry, I was wrong. And I'm quick now to apologize when I'm wrong. I'm quick to do it now. You know what I mean? Just say you're sorry. It's okay. No, it's not going to diminish your mom points to be apologetic. And it actually shows your children your human side, and it helps them to be able to take accountability for their actions when they become an adult too. So remember, everything we're doing, our kids are mirroring us, right? Let your kids be themselves, please. Like, I'm big on that. My children, baby, they are themselves. Okay. And I'm here for it all. Let your children find their way. You're here to guide them. I'm not saying let them go out and do nothing crazy or illegal or something that's going to hurt them. But what I'm saying is let them find themselves, just like you had to find yourself. And I'm still finding myself, Chad. But yeah, it boils down to giving yourself grace. Don't be beating yourself up. Let that mom guilt stuff go. Do the best you can with what you got. Don't be out here living above your means because your kid wants this thing. No. Do the best you can with what you got, because that's going to teach your children how to, one, take care of the things that they have, two, understand that it takes work to get to where they're trying to go. And then when they do get certain things, they'll appreciate it. But if you always just out here, every time something come out, every time something do this, every time something, you got to feel like you got to go run out and get it. Your children are not, they're going to grow up being entitled. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Okay. So make sure that you make them work for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got a story to tell. Like I said, I have had, I don't even know how many miscarriages. I've been through a lot with this motherhood thing, but I would not trade it for anything. Like, I love being a mom. I think being a mother is my greatest accomplishment, quite honestly. My children are my greatest accomplishment. Look, just the other day, right? I was sitting in my driveway. I hadn't backed into the garage yet, and y'all, because the sun, when the sun be hitting. So it's like a group of selfie pictures that I had put up, when I had got my little fresh cut or whatever. And I had took my pictures, and the little lady, she is so nice. It's a seasoned, I like to call them seasoned, a seasoned lady that walks her dogs. Baby, them dogs get their exercise 2 and 3 times a day, right? And I love our neighborhood. We live in a beautiful neighborhood, nice neighbors. It's gorgeous where we live. And so she was walking, and she came up to my driveway, and she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to, can I just say something to you?" I was like, she's like, "Are you on a call?" Because I was taking a picture. I said, "Oh, no, ma'am, I'm not." She said, "Okay." She said, "I just want to let you know you have some of the most amazing, mannerable children. Your children are just, they are just so great. They're always helpful. They're always so respectful." She was like, "I just think you need to know that." And I'm telling y'all, that right there, my heart was like, boom, 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 boom. I walked in, I was smiling so hard, my cheeks hurt. Like being, when people tell me that my kids are good, when people, when my kids make their grades, when they are good human beings, like to me, that's the best accomplishment, the highest accomplishment, and so just allow your children to see you being true to yourself, and allow them to do the same. And y'all are a team. It is not you do everything and they don't do nothing. When I go to a house and I see moms slaving and the kids just laying around not doing anything, baby, I get so uncomfortable. My kids be like, mm-mm. Baby, we are a team. Everybody has a job. Their job is to make good grades, make good choices, keep their rooms clean, do their chores. That's all they got to do. That's it. You ain't got to worry about nothing else, baby. That's a good life. Just make good choices, make good grades, keep your room clean, and do your chores. If you do that, we all right. And it just keeps everything going. Everybody know what they supposed to be doing. When you have littles, you start them young. Start them young with their little routine of cleaning. If they're 2 and 3 years old, hey, come here, pick up those toys. It's time. I wore that cleanup song out. Clean up, everybody. Baby, that song out. What? Listen. But yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I see some of my moms struggling. You gotta find out what your kids are interested in, and you got to hone in on that. If they like to do art, my baby got all kinds of art supplies, all animation stuff. I mean, she got it all when it comes to that. My son, he likes to do theater, he likes to film and he has a whole slew of photography stuff, all of the things. My other son, he loves robotics. He got engines. His bonus dad bought him a whole engine for Christmas. He put it together within like a day or two. It's got like 100. He is at 100 in robotics right now. That's his thing. So you just find those things they're interested in, and then you just like hone into that, because that gives them something, gives them purpose, something to look forward to. If it's sports, whatever, my middle baby, the one that loves robotics, he's also in track. He said he wants to get a coach or trainer to help him. So that's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to find somebody to help train my baby, because all they got to do is what? Go to school, make good grades, make good choices, clean their rooms, and do their chores. Be good kids. And so keep your head up, moms. Y'all got this. And yeah, if there's anybody that needs, community, I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but I will say I'll give you as much as I can. And I think that especially right now, moms, women, everybody needs to be coming together and sharing and pouring into and giving resources, encouragement. We all need it. Everybody needs it right now. Everybody needs encouragement right now. Y'all gonna have to pray for me because my baby is getting ready to graduate. He going off to college and he finna leave his house. So that's my next step. My 18-year-old, he about to leave me. I've had him. Like I said, I was 19 when I found out I was pregnant. It's crazy to me that I look at him and I'm like, dang, I was only 1 year older than you when I found out I was pregnant with you. That's wild. Because I look at him as my baby. I'm just like, how? Man, look. Ooh. So y'all pray for me because that is. That's tough. It's tough. I'm excited for him though. I'm very excited. He's already picked out his university. He's already been accepted. Like I'm super excited for him. He's just ain't gonna leave. He's gonna leave. Oh, I be crying randomly. My husband be laughing at me. Yep. He about to be up out of here. So anyway, y'all be blessed. I probably will take this live down. I might let it sit up for a little bit and then I'm gonna take it down. But I definitely hope that you guys are encouraged. Moms, we got this. I love y'all for free. And always remember there's enough sun in the sky for everyone to shine. Y'all be blessed.